last 7 months, we have been the member representing the Southeast on the governing board of the Northeast Development Commission. And on that board, I am the chairman in charge of security, climate change, and special interventions. And of course, as you are probably aware, the Northeast Development Commission was established through an act of the National Assembly, which was passed in 2017. That is in the 8th Assembly, while I was in the House of Reps. And it was basically established to take care of the challenges that have actually arisen from, insurgency, degradation of that area, from ecological impacts and all that. So the board is to get to rehabilitate, resettle, reconstruct houses of victims of insurgency and other problems coming from that side. So it was a deliberate act by the National Assembly, and in this case the government, to take care of that. And if you look at the mandate of the board, you will find that apart from this reconstruction and all that, then there's the issue of tackling illiteracy, the issue of addressing degraded areas arising from ecological challenges like what is going on in Lake Chad, desertification, drought. All these, as you are aware, are associated with the impact of climate change. So it's not just to reconstruct, rebuild in terms of physical security. The other side is also to deal with human security, so that after you have reconstructed and resettled the people, what are they going to be doing to be able to sustain themselves? So all these are built into what the board, the commission is saddled with. On the board, I represent the Southeast. There are so many other people from different geopolitical zones, representing their own geopolitical zones, and then people who are specifically from the 6 states of the Northeast. Perhaps it's of interest to note that the Northeast of Nigeria constitutes about 1/3 in landmass of the entire nation. And it also has, I think, a very high percentage of arable lands. But it needs to be supported to be able to contribute to the overall development of the nation. Because if you don't allow a section of the country or a nation to go through serious crises without assistance, eventually, if you fail to do something, it will affect the rest of the country. So for us on the board, a lot has happened. We were able to launch the master plan of the board, of the commission, to set out things they are going to do and things they have been doing. We've been able to commission or inaugurate, projects that have been successfully executed. And then we have also been able to supervise so many other projects. So a lot is going on, and it is all well focused. And the resources are managed judiciously to ensure that you get the best out of the situation. So that's precisely what we've been doing, in the last probably 7 months now. And we have done so much. And we're grateful to the government, particularly the government of President Senator Ahmed Bola Tinubu, GCFR, for considering someone like me worthy, along with other members of the board, to task us with that responsibility of going to execute the mandate of the board for the benefit of the people of the Southeast in particular and Nigeria in general. So what is the benefit of the board, of the commission to people from Abia State and then maybe Southeast? I'll probably answer you with an Igbo proverb. And that Igbo proverb says, "Na ukpa na ha akpa n'anya imi na ọjị." I'll break it down in case you don't understand it. Pupa means you cannot have a scratch on your eyes without your nose running. When you have a scratch on your eye, you discover that it goes to the nose and the nose starts running. What I have said in effect is that the usefulness, the importance of the board, the Northeast Development Commission, to the people of Abia State, to the people of Southeast, and to Nigeria as a whole, is that we are working through that commission to restore the devastations that have happened to the people of the Northeast. And these devastations did not do, it wasn't selective devastation, it was not selective destruction. Our people were residents in the Northeast, they were residents all over the place doing their businesses. Their buildings, their shops were destroyed, along with those of the indigents. So, in breaking down my proverb, if there's a problem in the Northeast and you fail to join hands as a nation to arrest it so that it does not spread, then you run the risk of whatever that is happening there spreading to other parts of the country. For instance, you saw how kidnapping and insurgency and all the other problems have gradually spread to different parts of the country. So that's why I said, you cannot leave the Northeast out and say, oh no, it does not concern me. If you want to approach it from the angle of Human Development Index, you would find that the Northeast has a high percentage of people who are out of school. A high percentage of people who also do not have, a high rate of illiteracy. So when we are doing the Human Development Index of the country, if you put in the Northeast with these challenges that are many and Hydra had in nature, you discover that it has the strength, the potential to bring down Nigeria's overall standard in terms of development index. So we must contribute to the development of the Northeast, just as we must contribute to the development of different parts of the country, so as to develop together and have a prosperous nation. So it is beneficial, it is helpful to the people of Abia State to have their sons who are working over there, who are trading over there, who lost their businesses. It is also beneficial to the people of the Southeast. It is beneficial to the Northeast in particular, and by extension the entire nation.
Food donation, wheat specifically, donated by Ukraine to the Northeast, generated a lot of controversy, given that that very country is now being ravaged by war imposed on them by Russia. Now, with the kind of controversy generated by that donation, did the Commission eventually accept the food consignment?
You talk about controversy, but you should also know about what we call, I'll get the theory, economic theory. When you mass produce, you have your resources, you have everything at your own disposal. Maybe sometimes you have it in excess. I don't see that being a problem, because I remember that around September or so last year, we were there when the Vice President himself distributed items to the entire 6 states, to IDPs and things like that. So the Commission is doing a lot in this regard, and they do this from time to time. So if there's anything that was received by, received by the Commission or received by the Northeast from Ukraine, it is not different from what Ukraine and even Russia and some other countries have been giving out to African nation as a whole, because of the kind of, famine, hunger, starvation that has actually affected Africa as a continent. So we are developing, and that's not far from what I just said. If we have food that we can use to help our people and make them live better, I don't think it's something that should generate controversy, because by the time we now begin to mass produce ourselves, we will also be able to give out to people. If you like, I'll remind you of what happened during the Biafran War. when we were getting what they call Agede Gabon to help us. But today, nobody is asking for Agede Gabon from the Gabonese. Instead, Nigeria at some point was helping other African nations. So I don't see information.
What you told us that the aim of the commission is to rehabilitate, resettle, and reconstruct.
Yes.
Now, this issue of insurgency has become a recurring issue. So thereby, while you are reconstructing, the people are going again to destroy it, thereby leaving your efforts in futility. So what is the commission actually doing to tackle the root cause of insurgency so that your aim can be achievable?
Thank you very much. Now, I would like you to take your own time and do your research and find out how many local governments before now were controlled by the insurgents. At some point, we had, I'm talking of Borno particularly, at some point we had them controlling, I think, 13, 7. It is no longer there. So in effect, what I'm telling you is that yes, a great effort has been made. It is not even the commission alone. We are receiving support, both what the commission is doing and then what some international organizations, are doing, and then what the federal government is doing in terms of the military being able to fight the insurgency. The insurgency has gone down significantly, and I think at this point I was even thinking you are going to commend the federal government, and I want to use this opportunity to commend the federal government for the efforts they have made in trying to tackle insurgency, in trying not to allow insurgency to continue the way it was, and in trying not to allow it even to create the kind of instability that it was creating. Yes, occasionally you see, little sparks. In fact, let me tell you, before now, a lot of people only heard about Sambisa forest and all that. I recall that in the month of, was it November or